What's going on, guys? I hope none of you have a case of the Mondays. Now today I'm going to keep it light and only share positive vibes. So I will be discussing 5 things that I hate. Some people think you shouldn't say hate because it's such a strong word, but I think that's what makes it so great. It's a passionate word. Hate is a little fire that we all have burning inside of our heart. And most of the time it is a good idea to pat that flame down, but sometimes it's a good idea to stoke it. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. We're going to stoke the flame inside of my heart. Number 1 on my list is olives. Fucking olives. I am generally a pretty open person when it comes to eating food. I like a lot of different foods, and I've recently even started opening up to mushrooms. Not all the way yet, I don't like them sauteed. But olives, I can't get behind it. I don't know if I ever will be able to get behind them. They're just so gross and slimy, and you can buy them with like little pieces of cheese inside of them so people would just snack on them. Yeah. And especially when people put them in cocktails. Alright, I've got this alcoholic drink that is already bad enough on its own. Let's throw in some fucking olives. So that's definitely a hate. Number 2 on my list is Pee Wee Herman and Pee Wee Herman impressions. I don't know what it is about him. I'm not a big fan of slapstick humor. About the furthest that slapstick goes for me is like Kramer on Seinfeld. Like, he's the most slapstick that I can handle. But just Pee Wee Herman's voice as well, like just, it's like the back of the throat voice that people do. Like the voice where it's kind of like, ah! Kind of sounds like Ray Romano getting pinched. But like when people do that voice and try to do his impression, my dick goes inside of me. That's how hard I cringe. And I was talking to my roommate Jesse about this, and he said, maybe it's because you didn't grow up with him. And I'm really fucking glad I didn't. I'm glad that I grew up on a more matured sense of humor. A mostly matured sense of humor. Now, number 3 on my list is horoscopes. Now, I know that's gonna piss a lot of people off because a lot of people like horoscopes and believe in them, but I just can't get behind them. I know it's bullshit. It's so bullshit. Especially with how vague they are. You could be thinking you're reading your horoscope, but actually read the wrong one and still feel like it relates to you. It's one of those areas where the placebo effect in your brain is like 110%. And people will be like, oh my god, you're such a Libra. I'm a Leo, first of all, but just because I like to take naps a lot doesn't mean I'm one sign over another. One thing that really got me was this tweet. I'll read it off for you. Boys will literally use real money to play a fictional game of basketball for fictional points and fictional rewards, but look at me. I'm crazy when I use my free time to look into astrology. Astrology is fake. So is your career on 2K, but here we are, at least mine free. Jesus fucking Christ. They're 2 different things. 1 is a game, 2 is an ideology. Like, you can look at one and say, okay, you get enjoyment out of this, you get mental stimulation, it's a social thing, and while you can take some aspects of that and apply it to astrology, mainly astrology is a belief system. You are believing in one set of values and ideas. Like, it is one step away from being as crazy as fortune tellers. Okay, stick out your hands. I'm going to read you. Alright, yes. Okay. Jergens. Oh, and speaking of Twitter, that's number 4 on the list. I hate Twitter. Life isn't always full of guarantees, but one guarantee that always stays constant in my life is that when I go on Twitter, I get pissed off every time. And it could be just the area of Twitter that I see, but everyone is so sure of themselves. They think they're right, no matter what. And when they think they're right, they go 100% on that. Whether you're Republican or Democrat or whatever different side of whatever argument you're on, nobody understands that there is sometimes a middle ground. If you do set yourself to one set of values, that's one thing, but just saying that you're under this group of people, you're always going to be wrong somewhere, just like you're always going to be right somewhere. A broken clock is right 2 times a day. Like, I'll always see someone on Twitter get into an argument or have some kind of controversial stance on something. Someone will prove them wrong in the replies, and then they'll just say some shit like, bitch, who asked you? Get out of my mentions. And that's not how you have a productive conversation about something. Nobody walks away from that happy, and nobody walks away from that conversation learning anything. You just getting salty means that you're gonna be stuck in your backwards ways. And it's just an infuriating website that I cannot stop using. No matter how much I hate it, I still use it more than any other app on my phone. And the last thing on my list is people who take pride in being unconventional, or people who don't go with the flow on purpose. For example, you'll see a girl on your Facebook that you went to high school with. She'll share a picture of muddy hands or a muddy Jeep and say something like, yeah, I'm not your average girl. I like to get muddy. I like Jeeps. Oops. Or they'll sometimes say, yeah, I actually want to play video games with you. I bet no other girl says that. Please fuck me? I've even touched on that in a previous video about like how girls will be like, yeah, perfect idea of a date is video games. Then 5 minutes in, they're like, ah, shit, this is boring watching you play this. And just like with guys, you'll see guys that are totally white knighting. I'm not like other guys. I'm nice. I still hold doors. Does anybody hold doors anymore? And that just annoys the shit out of me. If you're gonna be unconventional, just don't brag about it. Just be unconventional. Do your thing. I'm not hating you for being a certain way. I guess I kind of am. But I'd hate you less if you didn't brag about it. Well, guys, that wraps up my list on 5 things I hate. It's a little bit reminiscent of my rant days. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did like it, leave a like rating down below. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike down below. Also, leave a comment. Tell me something that you hate. I'm expecting at least 3 comments saying my YouTube channel. But maybe my mom's gonna log into her YouTube channel and make that 4. And if you are new to my channel and you like what I got going on here, hit that subscribe button. Stay up to date with my uploads. And that's it for today. I will see you guys Wednesday.